Okay, perfect. It is 1 o'clock and it's time to get started.
It is.
Beautiful. And it's so fun to see so many faces here at our session for Cognitive From Stress to Success, How to Leveraging AI for a Better Work Life. That is a very nice title. And yeah, we used AI to come up with it.
We did, but apparently it worked because all of you are here.
Yeah, but basically, we're stressed. We have a lot of things to do during our work life, and there's so many things that technology and our tools can help us with. So today we hope that we can give you a few tips, a few ideas. Maybe you've seen some of the things, maybe you haven't. I guess me and Josefin, we will be happy if you leave the session with at least one new idea. Yeah.
Exactly, and
Perfect.
we just want to quickly introduce ourselves and the company we work for. So here we are, Josefin and Amanda, and both of us work as employee experience and productivity experts at a company called Zenit. And we are a part of this fantastic group, Cognitive. Right?
Yes. So Cognitive is, I like to say that it's our mother company. So it's a beautiful collective of different cloud companies. We're right now 4 different companies. We are Zenit, which we work for. We have Surgent that also does Microsoft tech. And then we have Elastic Move and BuzzCloud that does Amazon stuff. And if you want to talk about everything, all the cool things we're doing, we have a booth up. I'm trying to, where are we? I think it's just above us. So we have a nice booth where many people there that can talk everything Microsoft, everything Amazon. But now we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about problems.
Problems and solutions with tech. And let's start with the first problem.
Perfect. So
I will leave the floor for you.
Are you going now to the dead corner where you can see?
Just so that you have some space.
Thank you, thank you. But today we have 5 different problems, and they are very differently. And I would imagine that maybe you don't get affected of all of them. I don't, but there's a few that does affect me. So let's have a look at the first one. Information overload equals head explode. And I'm not sure about you, but I have probably 1 million different files that I'm working with on a daily basis. Anybody does files? Yeah. It is rough. And it's rough for several reasons. So I wanted you to have a look at a few different numbers before we actually get into how we can fix this. First of all, we have this beautiful figure. And today, me and Josefin, we will show you a bunch of different numbers from different studies. But a study that I know that both of us really enjoy looking at is the Work Trend Index done by Microsoft. It's done yearly. And what I love about it is that it's just like a perfect visualization of what is trending right now. So a couple of years ago, everything was about hybrid. Everything was about how you should work remote, on a distance, yada yada. Today, everything is about AI, as you can imagine. But it just gives us a good temperature of what is happening right now. So this number is a couple of years old. I think it's from 2023, if I'm not misjudging. But what it says is that 62% of the respondents say that they struggle with too much time spent on looking for information during their workday. That means we spend time searching when we just want to work, we just want to do our things. And if we go back to that 1 million different files, it isn't easier. And in the combination with struggling today with all of our files, we are also creating a lot of files. Then we take a look at this. This number is from a couple of years ago when it was estimated that 90% of all of the data in the world was created the last 2 years. And we are creating a lot of data. A lot of data. This year, it was estimated to be around 175 zettabytes of information. And if we look at, now I'm going to look at my little sheet code here. In 2010, it was 2 zettabytes. So it's rapidly a lot of information, and it's just getting harder and harder to find all of that. And if you are like to think of something visual, how much is a zettabyte? It's like a very big number that I don't have that in my head. So I read somewhere that 1 zettabyte is sort of like all the sand in the world.
And that is just 1 zettabyte.
That is just one. And if we look back here to how much data we're estimated to create, it's said that in 2035 it will be over 2K of information. And why is this a problem? Well, it's hard to find. It makes us recreate the wheel every time, and we need some help. And that's where Microsoft comes in, because that's what we work with, you and me. And I wanted us to start talking a little bit about non-AI things. We promised AI, that's in the title, but there's a lot of nice things in Microsoft 365 as well. This is OneDrive. You've probably seen it, you've probably used it. A few years ago, Microsoft said OneDrive, the hub for files. This is the place, the one-stop shop for all of your files, and they done it a lot better, and I like it very much. And as you can see here, I'm inside Microsoft Teams, and I'm reaching OneDrive from Microsoft Teams. There's different ways of reaching OneDrive, both in the desktop, there's an app, in Teams, and in the browser. And when we're searching for information, all of us work differently. For example, I like to look at my recent files. Maybe I know the file is from a specific person, maybe I know it was in a meeting. And in the OneDrive app, there are different ways to finding information. So we can find it, my files, that is just basically the Files Explorer. We have shared, files shared with me or files I shared. We have favorites. I can also see all of my SharePoint sites. So there's many different ways of finding relevant files without knowing what's the name of it, when did I use it. Just go here and you'll find it. But now, let's have a look at something AI, since we promised that. And since we are Microsoft girlies, it's a lot of Copilot, and we will show you, well, a lot of things that's included in the big license. We have Frida in the back. She loves to talk licenses. You can ask her afterwards. But we will also show you things that are included if you don't have the big license, as I like to call it. So let's start with just showing you the Copilot chat. And here I am, I'm in my work context, and I can just ask an open question to Copilot. So for example, here I am asking about all the information related to a European Collaboration Summit. So let's see what we get. And the nice thing about this license is that we are in my organization, in my context. Copilot, it has access to the internet. It can see everything going out there. But it can also see my files, my emails, my chats, my conversations. And if I'm hovering over the numbers, I will see the sources from where that information is located. So this is a perfect overview of finding among large amounts of information. And another thing that's really nice with Copilot in OneDrive is it can help us to organize amongst files that we actually have. So let's have a look at this one. So yet again, here I am marking 2 files, and a lot of the time I get huge file FOMO. Maybe I create an extra file, maybe I don't delete it, maybe I have one in my OneDrive. But we need to delete files that are old. So here in this example, I'm just marking 2 files, and I'm asking for a summary of the different tools to see. maybe I can delete the one, but here I can say, oh, fine, it's different places, different presenters. I need both of these files. But in some reasons, maybe I don't need both of the files. Another thing that I can do is easily get a summary. So I'm marking a file. I'm asking Copilot to summarize it. And we'll see, okay, this is nice. I still need this file. And of course, there are a lot of different things that we can do to make sure that we don't have as many files as possible. This I will talk about in a second, but I just wanted to tip about, Josefin, you did a very good session about digital cleanup, right?
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago.
It's officially in March, Digital Cleanup Day, but it's a really good day to keep in mind to organize your files and your data.
Yeah, so besides deleting things that we don't need and don't creating lots of different copies, we can keep in mind how you should collaborate. Me versus we. When we are in Microsoft 365, it's built upon trust, transparency, being able to work together. If I store files in my OneDrive, then that's not transparent. If I leave, the file will leave. We should be in SharePoint, we should be in Teams to foster this openness, transparency, and also it will make it much easier for Copilot to find the relevant information. Sad, glad.
You made it very clear.
Yeah. No, now I'm sad that we didn't add a few slides about your cleanup, because that's very good too.
It's for the next time.
Next time. Okay, should we have a look at the next tip maybe?
I think it's time.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the silent to-do list.
The silent to-do list.
So let's take a moment to talk about all the small tasks that keeps a workplace running smoothly. So think about things that help the team, the office, or the organizations, but are not actually part of anyone's official job description. So this is what we call invisible work. And it's often done quietly in the background without much recognition. And it doesn't require any special expertise, and perhaps most importantly, it doesn't lead to any career benefits for the person doing it. So think about things like making coffee, taking meeting notes, organizing a colleague's birthday gifts, or being the person who always sends out that meeting link for a meeting. Yeah. Does any of this sound familiar for any one of you? Yeah, some people are nodding. And it's very important, but it's things like this that often gets overlooked. And actually, each study shows that women spend on average 200 more extra hours per year on non-promotable work than their male colleagues. So that's the finding of a recent study made by Novus in collaboration with Make Equal. And we can't just accept this as a norm. Of course, we have to do things about this. And if you want to dive deeper into this, I can really recommend this book, The No Club, which explores exactly this challenge and how we can address it. But when it is our turn to take on these social or administrative tasks, the ones that, well, it's not in anyone's job description, then we don't want it to drain our time or energy. We want to do them smartly and with as much Copilot magic as possible, of course. So let me show you some examples of this. I guess you have all been organizing a team lunch sometimes. Yes, me too. And when it's my turn to do this, I go to my favorite restaurant in Gothenburg, Olivia in this example, and I just go through the menu. Okay, it looks good, so I download this menu to my OneDrive. And then I go to our team chat. So here you will see a small component. If you haven't seen this yet, you should definitely look out for the loop component, because loop is basically kind of a live document, a small document that you can share within the whole Microsoft 365 suite. So here I added a loop component, and I ask Copilot to help me within the component. So inside the loop, I ask Copilot to pick 3 main courses from the menu and add a voting column for my colleagues. So you can see I can also attach a file within this prompt, and in a couple of seconds, Copilot does the magic for me and choose 3 dishes from the menu, from that long menu, and here my colleagues can vote for whatever they would like to eat. And here you see the results after a couple of hours, maybe, when my colleagues have made their choice. So you see here in the demo that they are all inside this loop component at the same time.
And the lovely thing about this component is that you can send it in Outlook, you can send it in different places.
Exactly.
It's a lovely app.
It's really fun and very practical to get the help of Copilot within the loop component. But now let's switch over to Outlook, another more familiar app maybe. So here I will show you how I create a meeting quick and shortly. So I open up Copilot in the pane here, and I type schedule a meeting with Frida and Amanda to talk about women in tech. So you can see I just prompt Copilot directly in Outlook to get this meeting link, and it blocks time for me in my calendar, and I can just show you the result of that. So here you see a time when we are all available, and I even get a title for the meeting. And if we had a conversation about this before, I can even get an agenda and everything. So just in some clicks, I've done this magically. Very convenient. Okay, time for next tip.
Oh, okay. I will come next to you here. And
You are welcome.
We are not future ready. Well, there are a lot of studies showing that we women are less likely to adapt to new technology and generative AI. So let's first have a look at a few different numbers on why it's relevant in the broader term before we deep dive. Okay. As I said, work trend index, I love it. I look at it, not daily, but I look at it often. So they released their study last spring, I believe, and they said that 75% of people already use generative AI in their daily job, office workers. And you might say, wow, that is a very nice number. And it sure is, 75%. It's almost 100, sort of. But if we look at the same number in Sweden, it's much, much lower. So it's only 15%, which is, I think it's a little bit scary because, hey, we're Sweden, we're supposed to be like in the front. Why aren't we?
Yeah.
Why aren't we?
Apparently we are not. So it's good to know that we have to keep up.
Yeah, I mean 75% globally and 50% in Sweden. It is a big of a difference. And why should we care? You've probably seen all of the memes that says, hey, AI ain't going to take your job, but people using AI will take your job. And I think that is true because we can save so much time by using generative AI in our daily job. And in the same study, I know that Josefin, she don't like this number, but I like to show it just to give you a little bit of a scare. And this is, of course, still in a global context, but 66% of managers say that they wouldn't hire people that don't have AI skills. sorry, I'm like, ooh. So we need the care. And why is this relevant then in the context for us being here at the conference? Josefin, do you have?
Yeah, because as you said, many studies shows nowadays that women are adopting this technology much less than men. This is from, or maybe not exactly this number, but studies from Harvard Business School has pointed this out recently. And why is that? Is a good question. And the studies show from Harvard Business School that many women feel unsure, and women tend to be more concerned about ethical issues with AI, using AI. And that is, of course, good to consider the ethical, all the ethical things, but it should not limit us from exploring how we can use this for good reasons. Because if we don't do anything about this, this might be a version of the future. Maybe it's a bit dramatic.
Yeah, I wanted a very dramatic picture from Planet of the Apes. I love this. Sorry if it's a spoiler for anybody that they're on Earth, but we need to be a part of shaping the future. So it's really important that we actually start using generative AI, and now we will talk about a few ways to get started. And now I'm going to go back because I'm going to talk a lot. And start with my most hated word at the moment. Prompt engineer. Have you seen it on LinkedIn? People are prompt engineers. You have to be a prompt engineer. And it just makes me so mad that even seeing the word that if we are sitting there, we're new to it, and we want to start with a new topic, do you feel motivated to be like, yeah, I have to be a prompt engineer to start? I don't. I really don't. I'm not an engineer. It's nice with engineers, but I'm not. And there's somewhere between prompt engineer, not prompting at all. We just have to get started, and that's why I like just prompting. No, I'm sorry. Okay, now we have to move forward because I'm just getting so mad. And how can we get started? Well, of course, to use the tools, and you probably use ChatGPT, but we're Microsoft girls. Now we're not going to talk about that. It's still Copilot. And let's have a look at Copilot for Consumer. And Copilot for Consumer, it's a great way to get started. It's still not as good as ChatGPT, but it's going there, and it's very pretty.
Yeah, it's a nice UI.
It is. It is a nice UI. So let's have a look at this example on how I am using Copilot for Consumer to get my agenda for today. And they just recently released deep thinking with Copilot. So you can get smarter answers, which is nice. Okay.
So just to be clear, this version is not linked to your work account and your working files. It's for private cases.
Okay, it's a nice example. Let's move on to the fun Copilot one for work. Okay, Copilot. Where do we start? A lot of people use ChatGPT, which is great, but when you're in a Microsoft environment, you have your company data, you shouldn't put your company things in ChatGPT if you aren't paying for the premium version, because they will train the model on your prompt and your output. When we're using Copilot, we're logged into our Microsoft 365 account. The data is safe and secured. Microsoft won't train the model on the stuff you put in. So if you are in a work in a work environment, do Copilot. Maybe the answer is a little less fun, but your data is secure, and it's very important. So do it. And not everybody knows this, that you have Copilot with enterprise data protection. That's the official term. But you do. And if you go into Copilot, you're logged in, you will see a little green shield. It says something that your data is secured. And it's very important because we don't want to spread our company secrets.
Can we show where to find it on your next slide?
Okay, let's see if I can.
Because it's a bit hidden. I don't know if they see me on screen, but it's up there. You see that little green shield?
Yeah.
That's what shows that this chat has data protection.
Yeah, and that's very good. And now my video just started playing. Usually I enjoy doing live demos, but I couldn't do that here. So now it's wild. But here I am. I'm logged in. As Josefin said, you can see the green shield. It's included in your license. It doesn't look at your organizational data. It looks at data from the internet, and oh, no, don't leave me. Is it stay put? Yeah, good. So here I am. I can ask it about anything. And in this example, we're just asking Copilot how I can make a plan on start learning generative AI. And of course, this isn't very company specific, but maybe it could be, hey, I'm drafting a very super secret plan about our future strategy about buddy. So I want it to play.
Mm-hmm.
Can we click the little play? No. I'm sorry. You couldn't see it. But it's very nice and okay, now it is playing. Very disappointing. This is why I do live demos. Then I can control everything myself. But as you can see here, I have a vague idea. I want to ask it. I get an answer. And that is one of my favorite parts of using generative AI, is that it's so easy to get started. It's very easy to have an idea. And instead of me sitting and thinking for hours on my chamber, which I often do, I can ask Copilot and I can get help in a second. And if you don't enjoy thinking in your chamber, I have a sticker for that, so come up to me afterwards. Okay?
Great.
Yeah. Should we have a look at
I
number
think so,
4?
since the slides are just magically
Just changing.
Yeah, so we will talk a bit more about stress. And let's start with some striking numbers for this theme as well. So between spring 2019 and spring 2024, stress-related sick leave has increased by 25%. But what's even more alarming is that women are more than twice as likely as men to be affected by stress-related mental health issues. And that is really alarming. This is figures from Försäkringskassan, the Swedish insurance agency or something in English. I don't know the English term actually. So it's very crucial that we prioritize work-life balance for women, because the challenges many women face, balancing work, home responsibilities, and often caring of children, creates a perfect storm for stress and burnout actually. And the most vulnerable is actually women in their 30s, especially those with young children. And of course, this is not a problem just for individuals or for the individual themselves. The responsibility, of course, lies also on employers to create a healthy work environment and that promotes well-being and balance. But let's not forget about the tech tools we have at our disposal, because we have great tools actually in Microsoft 365 that can help us to have a more balanced work life. And I will show you some of them. It's not that much Copilot actually, but there is a lot of AI within these applications as well, but it's very easy to use. So let me ask you, how many of you have heard about Viva Insights? Yeah, quite a few actually. I'm glad to hear. So after today, I hope everyone can raise their hands. So here we are in Microsoft Teams, actually, but Viva Insights, you can find Viva Insights as an app within Microsoft Teams. And it's basically a tool that helps you understand and improve your work habits. It gives you small tips and reminders on how to protect your time, focus better, and take care of your well-being. So within the app, you will find different categories, and I will show you more about the category well-being, which you can see from the top menu there. So one of my favorite features within Viva Insights is something called virtual commute. And it's designed to help you end your workday in a clear and healthy way, especially if you are working from home and you don't have a real commute. So here I set up my schedule for virtual commute, and I can choose on which time I want this to start and on which weekdays. And what's happened then when this time arrives, I get a notification from Viva Insights, and I can start this virtual commute. And it takes me through my upcoming day. The next day, I can scan through my meetings, and if I want to prepare for something or maybe reschedule something, and I can look through my tasks from my to-do, and maybe I can tick up some things I've already done today and prepare also for tomorrow. And then I end up with reflection on my day or a short breathing exercise.
Only good.
Yeah, it was okay.
Okay.
This day was okay. So it only takes a few minutes, but it really helps your brain understand that work is done for today. And the next thing I want to show you is how to set up quiet times within the whole Microsoft 365 suite, actually. So here we have also this configure plan. So I can choose when I want to go into quiet time. So for me, myself, I want to mute my mobile notifications all day during the weekend. And during the other days, I will just mute all notifications during the evening. Very, very good as well, not to be disturbed on evenings and weekends.
Setting. If you haven't set it, you must.
Yeah, and it's within Viva Insights. And here I just wanted you to, no one should not be aware of where you can mute all your notifications within Teams. So go to the three dots, settings, notifications and activity, and here you can do all your settings for yourself, like what suits you the best. Also a must.
Also a must. Microsoft wants us to have many notifications all the time from many different places, and it's very important to take control over your day.
Yeah.
Go in, change the setting based on your needs, put on quiet hours because you're not supposed to work after a time, even though you can reach Teams from your phone.
Yeah, you
skip AI. This is the most important takeaway from the day. I have so many strong feelings about many of these topics.
That's so good.
Oh, so many strong feelings.
And also about this topic, I think, about meetings, right? Meetings before 9 a.m.
No, I don't do that. You know how hard it is to work with people from Gothenburg that want to start their day at 8? It is hard. It is very hard. Okay, so enough about that. Let's take a look at our last problem. Meetings, meetings, meetings. We have a lot of meetings. Do we have a lot of meetings? Yeah. Do you like meetings? Yeah. Sometimes. Do you like all of your meetings? No. Maybe you can. Maybe there are some of you who have only good meetings. I have very good meetings when I'm talking with you. And I have meetings that also, it shouldn't have been a meeting. And it's very fun because, so I'm like a broken record, only talking about word trend index. I'm sorry, but it is very good. But in one of the studies, they said that 65% out of the people who answered the survey said that they don't think that they would have been missed if they didn't attend the meeting.
Then it's not a good meeting.
Do you think you should have been invited to that meeting? No, I don't think so either. And also, 64% of people say that they don't have enough energy or time to do their job. Could that maybe be due to being in stupid meetings where people wouldn't miss you? Maybe. And also another study, or it's the same study, I'm not going to lie, says that we put 57% of the time on communication rather than creation. And we want to create. Of course, we need to communicate, but it's like a magic mix. And this is also, it's a pretty old number. It's based on pre-pandemic and after pandemic, but since the pandemic, the amount of meetings we're having have just risen a lot. So we have so many meetings.
We don't have that natural pauses between meetings, no commute.
No.
We don't have that.
No, it's
breaks.
just meetings. And now we're going to talk about a few different things when it comes to meetings. Let's start looking at this lovely image. And this is a photo of how our brain reacts if there's no breaks. So in the top row, here we have 4 meetings and there's no breaks in between. So we just keep on going. We have meeting. There's no time to take some air, go to the bathroom, think about life and stare out the window. And you see it gets redder and redder. And can you imagine the output we're giving if our brain don't have time to wind down? Compared to the second row, when it's just blue and breezy and beautiful, of course the result will get so much better. And now I don't have an image of that, but you probably seen in Outlook that there's a setting you can also do on a global level to end meetings like 55 or 25. And that's for a reason. It's not just for funds. It's for we want to have that break so we can produce better things. Even I also sometimes like, no, skip that. No break in between. But you should.
Yeah, your brain will thank you.
And besides that, we have this stupid hybrid knot that we're trying to solve. I don't have an issue for this. I love working from home. I just need it. And we are in a state of mind now when it won't be as before. Some will be home, some will be in the office. Sometimes I will go into office, no, there's no one there. And sometimes we're many people. So we have to keep on thinking on how we do this hybrid world, especially meetings, because it is important. So I'm actually going to show a little bullet list here of things that I wanted you to think about to do hybrid meetings in a better way. And these are just small things that I like to think about that maybe doesn't come to your mind, but it's a super simple thing to do to make meetings more inclusive, more fun, and more engaging. First of all, raise your hand. Just use the built-in feature in Teams. And you say, well, that's hard when we're some people in the room and some at home. Well, the other one, everybody should be on their laptop. Not to do other stuff, look at your chats or send an email. You should be there with your face, so it feels like everybody is on the same level. Super easy to do, and then you can raise your hand. Use a good microphone. Sorry, I just have to say this. Nobody likes your iPhone headset. It sucks. Keep track of the chat. And the last one, I learned this pretty recently, and I wanted to share it with you because it just brought me a lot of joy. So we have a friend, me and Josefin, called Caroline. She talks a lot about working brain smart. And one of the things that she taught me is that small talk actually matters. So when we join a meeting and we talk about the weather, it actually matters because it builds rapport and it builds the feeling of being, what's the word in English? A herd. Do you say that? A flock, a herd? Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. And it's very important, especially if we don't meet. So we need that us feeling, and that will, in the end, result in better result, and we can produce better things together because we trust each other and feel like a happy community of people.
That is more. It's harder to bring up naturally when we meet digitally.
Yeah.
So you have to make an effort.
How are you?
Yeah,
How's the weather in Gothenburg? Is it raining? Yes.
probably yes.
And now, of course, now I just talked a little fluffy slides. Let's have a look at 2 Copilot things. And I think if we imagine having a lot of meeting and some of them suck, some of them they're nice, we have to go back for every meeting and think, does this really need to be a meeting? Usually not. It could be a chat, an email, a channel message, I don't know, like a letter rat. But think about it. And then when we say that we need to have a meeting, it should have an agenda and it should have a goal. And now I'm going to create an agenda with Copilot. Yeah, nice. I promise you some AI. So let's open Copilot. I'm in the Copilot chat in Teams, and I'm asking Copilot to create an agenda for mine and Josefin's meeting. Now I'm doing this with the big license, but you could as easily ask Copilot without the chat to create an agenda for you. And this is what I really like about talking with Copilot, is to iterate the conversation forward. So it created a super long agenda for me. Now I'm asking it to be shorter. Let's see. Let's see what it creates. Agenda, meeting with Josefin. Yeah, good. Amazing. Then I have my agenda. When I'm sending you the meeting invite, you know that, yes, I need to be here. There is a reason for this meeting. And of course, there are nice things we can do with Copilot in our meetings if we have the big license. So here I am, me and Josefin. We're having a casual chat about life and women in tech and Copilot and AI. And what I love about Copilot in the meetings is I can open it and I can ask any kinds of questions. So here in this example, I'm just asking for a summary. And soon I think I will ask what Josefin thinks about women in tech.
What I look forward to.
Oh, that's
the conference. So here we are using Copilot within the ongoing meeting. You can also use it afterwards, but here is during the actual meeting.
The good thing about Copilot is that when we have the meetings, it can help us. It can help us to create meeting notes, meeting minutes, give us tasks. It can answer any kind of question that will make those meetings more manageable. And it's like a full vase of flowers now, because I think that we reached the end of our session.
It's our sign.
It is our sign. Another tip, the videos in PowerPoint. Chef's kiss, I love them. I use them all the time.
So I should probably go back to our use that we
session.
Can end up together.
How do we conclude this session? We have many issues, but there's many different things you can do with the help of Microsoft. And you have to explore, you have to be curious, you have to test things.
Yeah, because everything is not that visible, as you have seen in our demos, like my use of the Copilot within the Loop component or with Viva Insights. It's all there, but you have to explore a bit to find it and to find what's really helpful for you.
And what I usually say to everybody is, you won't break anything. Try everything. And if it doesn't work, then do it again. Maybe it's a win. I try everything, and often I don't do it again because I didn't like it. But it's very important to be curious. And
definitely.
With that, I think we say thank you, and we will roam around here if you have any questions, and then we will roam around in our co-native booth. And yeah, I hope you learned at least one thing. Thank you for today.
Thank you so much for coming.